What's up, guys? Eric here with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holder, hanging out with Remy. Remy has an injury right now. She messed up one of her toes jumping out of the truck. She was a little too ambitious to go play with the BALL, so Jenna is walking across the street to Tractor Supply to get her some bandage. This is life with a dog on the road. Now I'm going to get to the point of this video here real quick, but I'll tell you guys who've been asking for a dog video about trucking with pets, because this is something you have to think about. Jen and I actually recorded an hour-long podcast on trucking with pets, and it didn't record her mic when we were at the house. So we lost this hour-long podcast, and it was so good too. We covered everything about trucking with pets. But yeah, injuries to your pet are gonna happen. She's got a pretty bad one, and you gotta figure it out. Fortunately, in this little town that we're at, the only place where trucks can park, this tiny little truck stop, is right across the street from a Tractor Supply. So that's working out for us. Anyway, so we're gonna get paid to sleep tonight. It probably won't be much, some sort of transit delay or something like that, because we were just turned around and not allowed to enter the customer's property at our 90. So, you know, we're all excited, got there 3 hours early. They were going to turn it into a drop-in hook because the receiving's closed today. So we're talking with the guard, you know, we're going to have you drop this, find you an empty on the yard. And it's Cabela's distribution center. And, you know, get you on your way. So we're super excited. The guy says, hand him the bills, you know, the manifest and everything. And he says, what's your appointment number? And I'm like, appointment number? I don't have an appointment. I don't know what an appointment number is. So he explains what the number should start with, and we start going through all of our messages, everything we can go through to try and find some sort of appointment number, and there's nothing on the load information, nothing on the dispatch, nothing on anything that resembles anything close to an appointment number. In fact, we gave him every number that we had, like PO numbers, trip numbers, every number we had, so he could go put it into his system and see if that would work, and it wouldn't work. And he wouldn't, he was absolutely firm that I cannot let you enter the facility without an appointment number. Even though Bass Pro bought Cabela's, or Cabela's bought Bass Pro, one or the other, I'm not sure which, the same company. Even though this load is coming from their own company, it's coming from the Bass Pro headquarter distribution center in Springfield, Missouri, to Cabela's. It's their freight. The bills of lading is their product. It's coming from their place to their place. The addresses are all correct. The stuff that they're supposed to have delivered is all correct. But because we don't have this mystical number, they wouldn't allow us to enter the facility. So we got turned away. At first, you know, I figured, okay, he wasn't rude or anything, but I felt he's being a little bit of a stickler on this. But we're calling dispatch and everything. I'm thinking he's going to find a way to let it slide, you know, because this is so abundantly obvious that this load is their load, you know. It could not be, there's no disputing it. Like, if it was coming from some other vendor or customer, some supplier or something, then maybe it'd be like, okay, we're not sure this is supposed to be here, because it's Sunday and their shipping and receiving is closed, so it's just the guard guy. So, you know, if it was like some third-party supplier or vendor or manufacturer or something, okay, maybe I could see how you might be concerned that maybe if there's not an appointment number, that freight's not supposed to be there. Maybe. I'm really reaching for it, but that could be maybe understandable. this to me makes no sense whatsoever. It's coming from your own damn company. And not only that, it's coming from your headquarters, the main place in Springfield, to you. And it's stuff that you acknowledge is freight that you're supposed to receive, but you won't receive it because there's not some appointment number that no one seems to understand what it. Prime doesn't understand. Sales has no answer for it. Of course, it's weekend Sunday sales, so you know, you can't really have a ton of faith in that, but nobody knows what this number is. And I guess sales can't get it from Bass Pro today because it's Sunday. I don't know. But anyway, we got turned away at the 90, so we're like, you know, what do you, dude? I was literally like, do you acknowledge that it's freight that's supposed to come to you? Well, yeah, it looks, he says, it looks that way. Like, how could it look any other way, dude? It's coming from your company to your company, and it's this address. It's stuff that you say looks like it should be delivered there on the day that it looks like it should be delivered, but it doesn't have an appointment number. So he tried to explain to me that the way this Cabela's DC works is that when they input that appointment number, it automatically like propagates their entire system so that everything that comes off the truck just gets instantly inventoried or something. It makes sense. I'm not disputing the logistical process of it. It makes a lot of sense. The thing that I was just like, hey, you know, if your company doesn't provide this number to us when we pick up the load, how is it that, you know, I understand what you're saying, but how is that my fault, you know? Anyway, it is what it is, you know. It's all part of the life out here. It's been a while since this is obviously not rejected. We have to wait until tomorrow morning because their receiving office is not open until tomorrow morning. And he said they can basically manipulate and make a number and replace, you know, they're gonna have to find it in their system and then replace the number and make, you know, something that they have to do. But there was nobody there that could do that today. So Bass Pro or someone's gonna be on the hook for some transit delay or detention or something to pay us to sleep tonight, basically, because we can't go get another, we can't get moving and get on another load. So good times. That's trucking. You know, there's a lot of stuff out here that it just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. We've seen a lot worse. We've experienced a lot worse. Rejected loads are the worst. This one's at least not rejected. It's just they won't take it until tomorrow. So yeah, we're going to spend the afternoon and evening in this tiny little town in Wisconsin, waiting until their receiving opens tomorrow. Oh, good time. So that's trucking, you guys. It's the name of the game. Speaking of which, so one of the worst rejections that I've ever seen, it was a Wiltrans truck that we had delivered to, I think in Detroit, I want to say, and it was a meat load that was coming so like, I want to say Phoenix or somewhere way out there, maybe Utah, something like that. This Wiltrans driver had brought, so, you know, it's a pretty long haul, and we had a meat load too. Ours wasn't very long at all, but anyway, we backed up next to him super early in the morning, like 0400, and we were waiting for the receiver to open. The receiver opened at like 6 in the morning. This is last winter, and so I'm waiting at the door for them to open up at 6 with this Wiltrans driver. We go in there, and our load says like 28 degrees or something like that. Pretty standard for meat. Or maybe it was 26, or I don't remember what it was. but his load said a couple degrees higher. It was like 29, or I don't remember specifically what it was. But the receiver rejected his entire load of meat because of those couple degrees. Now, the meat to me should have still been frozen if it's under 32 degrees, right? And they opened the trailer, and he even told me, he was like, dude, I can't believe this. The meat's all frozen. I don't see any sign that, you know, it's not frozen. But because it wasn't that 26 or 28 degrees, they rejected the entire load. And his bill said the temperature that he had to load, but the receiving customer disagreed with that. So he had to turn around and take this load all the way back, you know, and it's like, it's always a mess. I've known drivers that have had entire, I think Hopper maybe, had an entire load of bananas rejected because the color was off by like the tiniest. Like they had, I was explaining that they had something that they lay up next to it to make sure it's the right color, rightness, and it was just the slightest shade off, and they reject this entire load of bananas. So it's always fun out here. We've had boxes of stuff rejected that it's obvious that the receipt, like we've opened the doors and all the boxes look great, but after the receivers lumpers go in there with a forklift, now there's magically like, you know, 7 or 8 boxes that clearly the corner has been hit by a forklift that they claim came damaged. So it's always fun out here. So yeah, we got turned away at a receiver. Didn't even remove the load, didn't even remove the lock from the trailer, didn't even remove the seal, didn't even get checked in. Just don't have this magical number that no one at Prime knows about, and therefore can't enter the property. So good times. Anyway, that's our Sunday. I hope you guys' Sunday is going well, and if you're about to get into this career, this is the kind of stuff you get to look forward to. It is going to happen. It's inevitable. Doesn't happen that often, but it's inevitable that it's going to happen. So, all right, guys, be safe. Make good decisions. Always drive to thrive. We'll talk to you soon.